What's up guys, this is Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I wanted to do a quick video showing you guys the programming language R. Now, as I stated in the intro of the video, I want to talk about the R programming language. And nowadays, with the assistance of Python, which is another programming language, R is starting to pick up a lot of traction. And I want to show you guys a little bit about it. But just to explain what it is, it's a programming language that was created to handle data analysis and data visualization, as well as data science, machine learning, all that good stuff or whatever. This programming language is what's taken over when it comes to those types of areas in IT. And I just wanted to do a quick dive into the programming language, or just basically showing you guys how to install it, as well as a little bit on how to use the actual programming language. Now, I'm no expert with R. I'm learning it as well because it kind of ties to my job that I do in IT, which is database administration. Well, like I stated, R is associated with data science and data analysis. And so this is a good thing for me to actually learn while working as a database administrator, because it'll keep me on top of the new technology that's coming out that's dealing with, big data and all that good stuff. So let's go on and get started. I'm going to show you guys how to actually install it. But before I do that, let me go on and go to the website for the R programming language so we can read a little bit about it. Now let's get to that. Okay, so I have the R projects page up, and the URL to the R project is r-project.org, and I'll link that down in the description of the video so you guys can get some more information on the actual programming language. But let's go on and read a little bit about it. This is the home page, and it basically brings up the About You, the About R page. And so let's see, what is R? Introduction to R. It says R is a language and environment for statistical computing and graphics. It is a GNU project, which is similar to the S programming language and environment, which was developed at Bell Laboratories, formerly AT&T, now Lucent Technologies, by John Chambers and colleagues. R can be considered as a different implementation of S. There are some important differences, but much code written for S runs unaltered under R. R provides a wide variety of statistical, linear and nonlinear modeling, classical statistic tests, time series analysis, classification, clustering, and graphical techniques, and is highly extensible. The S language is often a vehicle of choice for research and statistical methodology, and R provides an open source route to participation in that activity. One of R's strengths is the ease which well-designed publication quality plots can be produced, including mathematical symbols and formulas where needed. Great care has been taken over the defaults for minor design choices in graphics, but the user retains full control. It says R is available as free software under the terms of the Free Software Foundation GNU General Public License in source code form. It compiles and runs on a wide variety of UNIX platforms and similar systems, including FreeBSD and Linux, Windows, and macOS. So that's cool. It runs cross-platform. You know what I'm saying? It's you can actually run it on all those different platforms. But let's just read a little bit more. It says, and I just want to get to this part right here, and then we'll just move on to installing it. But it says R is a integrated suite of software facilities for data manipulation, calculation, and graphical display. It includes an effective data handling and storage facility, a suite of operators for calculations on arrays in particular matrices, a large coherent integrated collection of intermediate tools for data analysis, graphical facilities for data analysis and display either on screen or on hard copy, and a well-developed, simple, and effective programming language which includes conditionals, loops, user-defined recursive functions, and input and output facilities. So that's pretty much all I wanted to read about the Aura project. Like I stated, this thing is kind of, I guess, picking up some traction, especially when it comes to data analysis. This is a language that you may want to learn if you're getting into that type of field where you handling big data. And the reason I know it is because I would say like last year, I remember seeing a whole bunch of conventions dealing with the Aura programming language where you can go in and actually do a week course of Aura, because it was starting to get popular and pick up traction in the data science field. So like I stated, this would be a cool, thing for you to pick up at the house, and actually learn it so you can add it to your tool belt. And that's one thing about working in the IT field. You have to constantly stay on top of things that are coming out, new technologies that are coming out, new programming languages that are coming out, so they can possibly help you in the future. You know what I'm saying? So let's go on and get to the install. What I'm gonna do is install it on Manjaro today. I always like to switch up the distributions that I use, and I know that Aura is in the main repository of Orch, and it's also in the main repository of Ubuntu as well. So Debian based systems, it's in the main repository. You can install it directly from the repository using the proper package manager for your distribution that you're using. So let's go down and bring that up now and go down and install Aura. Okay, cool. So we have my virtual machine up and running. Let's go on and install Aura. So I'm gonna open up the terminal and let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. I want you guys to really see what I'm doing when I actually go through and do this. But this is just a simple step of actually installing this. So let's go sudo pacman and then -s and then Aura. And one thing you do before you actually install any application is you want to make sure you update the system. I just want to really drill that in you guys' head so you guys understand that you need to update your system before installing new packages. But I recently updated this system, so I'm not going to run the syu command to update the systems because I know this system is already up to date. But sudo pacman -S and then Aura. The package name is Aura. And then let's type in our sudo passwords and go through the installation. It's not going to take long. It's only like 62 megabytes and it'll install Aura and its dependencies. So we're good to go. As you can see, it's installed. Let's go down and clear the screen. Okay, and so let's go down and open up Aura, and there is a interactive mode that you can use, and all you have to do is type Aura in the command line or in the terminal, and it has to be capital. So let's go down and open up the interactive mode, and this is similar to logging into a MySQL server. That's the way I look at it. You logging into a interactive mode where you could type commands or queries. Well, it's the same thing, Aura has its own syntax that you type once you get into the interactive mode. So I just kind of wanted to relate to that. That's the way I saw it in my head when I first looked at Aura. So let's press enter. That'll open up the interactive mode, and then we could read a couple things about it. It comes up and shows you the version right up at the top. So right now it's version 4.0.3, and this was released October of 2020, and then I guess this is the release name, but it says Bunny's Freak Out, so I'm assuming that's the release name for it. But some copyright information, the platform that is actually running on, which I'm running it on a Linux system. It says Aura is a free software and comes with absolutely no warranties, just some licensing stuff. You could type in license, and that's one cool thing about it. They actually give you a few examples of a few things you can actually run once you have it open. You know what I'm saying? Like this will pull up the licensing information by just typing license with the quotes on the end of it, and it says natural language support by running in English locale, in an English locale. And then OR is a collaboration project with many contributors. It's basically stating that it's an open source application, so people are contributing to this project, and you could be one of those people that could contribute as well if you want to learn the actual programming language that they're using to develop this actual programming language. And then also they have like a demo, which is cool. That's one thing that you typically don't see, you know what I'm saying? It has a demo built into it. So I'm assuming, and I haven't ran that yet, but I'm assuming it actually has something that'll actually run, and I'm not sure if you have to specify something in but within the quotes, but it may be fine to just run it like that, but we'll see in a second. But the first thing I wanted to do is just kind of run some math, just some simple math. So let's go 10, and then let's just do plus 60. So 10 plus 60, press enter. Cool. And it'll go on and calculate that for you. And I know you can do that on the command line. You know, it's very simple. That's a simple command, but or a simple addition problem that most people could do in their head. But I just wanted to show you that's one of the things that you can actually do. You can actually type out math within the interactive shell, and it'll provide the answer for you. So that's super cool to see. And then before we go any further, let me go down and pull up that help. I just want to see what's in it. It may give you some information on how to actually use it, and that's cool. It's actually a man page, or it's pretty much a man page. So help is the primary interface for the help system. Hold on, let's see, topics, packages, try all packages. So details, the following types of help are available: plain text help, HTML. So it kind of gives you some information on the help. So let's just press Q to quit and get out of that. And actually, let's go into the demo. I want to see what's under there. I'm kind of curious to see what's actually under the demo area. Okay, cool. So demo in package base, or demos in package case base. Error catching, more examples of catching and handling errors. Let's see, demos and package graphics. So you got your base, you got your graphics. So you can actually grab one of these and actually run it, I'm assuming. So if we go and actually let's quit right fast, and if we go demo, and then if we, I'm not sure if we can paste it in there. Yeah, we can. And then press enter. Let's see what it says. So demo error fetching, type return to start, and that basically does error handling for you, or shows you, it gives you an example of how to do error handling within OR. Now that we've done that, I don't want to mess around with too many demos. I'm gonna just kind of run some basic examples that I found online that I wanted to run and kind of show you guys. So let's press enter to make that go up. And similar to a lot of programming languages, the first thing they always teach you when you're learning a new programming language is to print hello world. Well, that's basically how you do it. So you just type print, and then you have to put the left parentheses, and then within quotes you have to put in hello world. So let's type hello and then world, and then close the quotes and then close the parentheses and press enter, and we should get the result of hello world. So that was one of the basic, I guess, commands you can run. You can actually print something using the print command, and then you have to put it in that format to actually print it out. Okay, cool. So the next thing I want to show you guys is something that's kind of built into OR. They have like a way to actually plot out data, or plot out, numbers and everything. And bear with me, I found this stuff online and it was just basically some examples, and I thought it would be cool to actually show you guys how to actually do this. But you could plot out numbers, and it'll actually bring up a plot for you. So let's go down and type in the example right fast. And since I know a little bit of programming, I kind of understand it, or understand exactly what it's doing. So let's say we type A. That would be a variable that we're creating. Now we want to assign something to that actual variable. So the way you do like equals, so A equals something, well, that variable equals something. So we have to, this is what you need to put in to actually assign something to it. So A kind of equals, let's see, or norm, and then I'm gonna put a open parentheses, and then let's just put in a number of 10, and then let's close the parentheses. Now A equals or norm 10. So let's press enter there. Now let's go on and print out what A is, and we're basically just calling this function after A. And so if we type A, you'll see the results of A, which is right there. So that's the statistical numbers for A at the moment, and this is pretty much stored in memory at the time, and it's still stored in memory right now at this moment. Now what I want to do is kind of plot out these numbers that are associated with the letter A at this moment. And so there is a command in here called plot. So you can type plot, and then you have to put what you're trying to plot in the parentheses. So A, and then let's close the parentheses and press enter. And then as you can see, it pops up with a graph or a plot, graphical plot that represents those numbers that are generated by this function right here. So I just thought that was super cool, to kind of show you guys that this can be done, using the OR programming language. And you can tell this is port of OR because of it says OR right here. So that's super dope right there. So okay, cool. So the next thing I want to kind of show you guys is something else I found that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna close this these results, or that plot, and then let's enter down a little bit, and I want to do another example that I actually found, and they have these examples on OR's website, so you can check out OR's website, and they have some examples on how to actually plot things within the OR interactive shell. So let's go down and type in this other one that I wanted to do, and we type in, and I'm just following what they actually typed in the actual screen as the example. So let's press the right arrow, and then dash, and then floor, and then they have an open quotes, and then run if, and then another open quotes, and then they put 1000, and then close parentheses, and then the multiplication symbol, and then 10, and then let's close that parentheses to close out that function, and then let's press enter. So that variable is set, and now we need to create another variable, which is t, and then let's do the left arrow again, dash, table, and then what we're gonna do is table in, which is that function we created above, or variable that we created above, and let's press enter. And then now let's do a bar plot of t. So basically what it did was took the results and tabled it under n, as the variable of t, and now we're gonna show the bar plot for t with using those numbers that were calculated in n. So let's press bar, let's type bar plot, and then put t in parentheses and press enter, and there we go, we got a bar graph now. So I thought this was super dope, you know what I'm saying, to actually see this. And then also I think we can go back in here and we can look at the actual table by just hitting T, and I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but I just want to see what it brings up. And yeah, there we go. So here is that actual table of N. So T was table of N, and so that's the results for it. And then that was put into the bar graph. So that's super cool how you're able to actually do that. You can plot out, you know, numbers, you can create bar graphs. And this is part of the graphics portion of the OR programming language, or the OR application that we installed on Manjaro. So I thought that was super cool. And that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a great programming language that you guys may want to check out and just see if you want to learn the OR programming language for yourself. But this gives you a great starting point on how to actually install OR, as well as some basic commands on how to use it. And then you can go to OR's website and get those examples that I just shown, and that way it'll teach you how to actually use it. And then one last thing I wanted to show you guys, actually, before I get out of it, I wanted to show you how to actually close OR, the interactive shell. And the way you do that is simply typing Q and then open and close parentheses and press enter, and that'll actually quit the interactive shell. And then you can also save the workspace image, so it'll save where you were. So all this statistical information that we created and variables and all that stuff, you can actually save it. That way the next time you get into it, you can start off where you stopped. But I'm gonna type no because I don't want to save it, and that'll exit out of the OR interactive shell. And lastly, I wanted to just tell you guys that they do have what they call OR Studio. You can actually install that on your Linux operating system as well. There's a package out there for it. It's OR Studio, but that will allow you to develop OR within the IDE, and you can create scripts and all kind of stuff from that actual application. And I didn't want to go that deep and install that application as well, but you guys can check it out for yourself. The main focus of this video was just to try to get you guys some information on how to actually get started with it. And you guys know I like the command line, so I wanted to focus in on the command line things that you can actually do with the OR. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, leave comments down in the comment boxes below, and of course, keep it techie.